Okay, we're going to go over Master Key Set Part A. So from right here, I got my attention stance, I bow my chin, okay, I drop my knees, step out into a horse stance, toes in, heels out, knees bent, knees out, sit back straight, chin up, thrust to meditation. Circle the prayer there and bring it back. So now, Part A, starting with the right hand. I'm going to thrust my shoulder in and up and whip back to the point of reference for hammering. Then I'm going to hammer my shoulder in and down, and then I'm going to hammer it back to the point of reference for thrust. Okay, now I'm going to whip my shoulder down and out, then I'm going to thrust it back to the point of reference for thrust. I'm going to thrust my left shoulder in and up, and then whip back to the point of reference for hammering. I'm going to hammer my shoulder in and down, and then I'm going to hammer back to the point of reference for whip. And now I'm going to whip my shoulder down and out, and then I'm going to thrust it back to the point of reference for thrust. Now I'm going to thrust my shoulders in and up and whip them back to the point of reference for hammering. So I'll do it again. Thrust, whip, hammer, hammer, whip, thrust, thrust, whip, hammer, hammer, whip, thrust, thrust, whip in reverse. Okay, I'll do it again. And I'll go again very slow. Okay. Okay, now we're going to do Master Key Set Part B. So from right here, I'm in my horse stance already. Toes are in, heels are out, knees are bent, knees are out, sit back straight, chin up, and I got my hands at the point of reference for hammering. From right here, I'm going to hammer my shoulder in and down, and then I'm going to be back to the point of reference for whip. Now I'm going to whip my shoulder down and out, and then I'm going to thrust it back to the point of reference for thrust. And then I'm going to thrust my shoulder in and up, and then I'm going to whip my shoulder back to the point of reference for hammering. I'm going to hammer my left hand in and down, and then hammer it back to the point of reference for whip. I'm going to whip my shoulder down and out, and then I'm going to thrust my shoulder back to the point of reference for thrust. And then I'm going to thrust my shoulder in and up, and then I'm going to whip it back to the point of reference for hammering. I'm then going to hammer both of my shoulders in and down, and then hammering both back to the point of reference for whip, making sure that my right hand is underneath my left hand. Okay, I'll do it again. Hammer, whip, whip, thrust, thrust, whip, hammer, hammer, whip, thrust, thrust, whip, hammer, hammer. Do it again. I'll do it really slow. That is Part B of Master Key Set. Okay, now we're going to put Part A and B together for Master Key Set. So I'm going to be right here, drop to a horse, toes in, heels out, knees bent, knees out, sit back straight, chin up, meditation. From right here, bring it back to there. So, Part A. Part B. And that is it for Part A and B of Master Key Set put together.